Hey everybody, well happy Friday to you. We've got something going on today that I just wanted to share with you, and I thought, well, this was also a great time to share a message with you that's been on my heart and a little bit of something that I've been struggling with. So here's what's going to happen in the next couple of minutes. I have decided that what I need to say, I want to come across very sincerely. And I don't want it to be slick. I don't want it to be edited. So I'm going to do this all in one take. So if you will please just bear with me as I look at my notes, as there are some awkward pauses as I repeat myself. I'm going to use and I'm going to do all those things that you're not supposed to do when you speak publicly, but I'm going to do it because I want to make sure you hear my message. So I've been wanting to say this, and when I found out what we were doing today, I thought this would be the perfect time to share this message with you. So just so you know what's going on back here, this is our yearly yearbook assembly. We have got our 1st through 12th grades are going to be coming here to get their yearbooks and celebrate the end of the year. But what's so cool about this is the fact that they're all celebrating the same thing. Yes, they're celebrating the end of the year, but what they're really celebrating is the fact that they're one family. When they all walk in here, what they're all doing is they're saying, we are a Creekside Christian Academy student. Doesn't matter if you're in 2nd grade, doesn't matter if you're in 3rd grade, doesn't matter if you're in 11th grade, it doesn't matter if you're a senior because you know they're already out of here. But honestly, this is one family celebrating today. So I thought, what better time to share with you my next challenge for you as we move forward in our capital campaign. So like I said, I've struggled with this a little bit because quite honestly, this is the put your money where your mouth is message. And this is the challenge to me. I've looked at my budget and it's tight. And I know that I want to give to this campaign. Not because I have to, not because it's my job, but because I really, truly believe that God is doing something here. And even though it's my job to ask you to support this and give money, I don't think that if I don't do the same as to what I'm asking you to do, quite honestly, I don't think that God is going to honor that. So I've had to look at my budget and I've had to see what it is that I can give to this campaign. And quite honestly, the more I look at my budget, every time I cut back on something, something else comes up. You know how it is. But when I really sat back and I looked at my budget, here's what I suddenly realized. My budget is filled with first world problems. Now listen, I am not judging you in any way, all right? So please don't judge me, but I wanted to share with you a couple of things that are on my budget list. These are things that every month I have to budget for. Remember, no judgment. Haircuts. Yes, I budget for haircuts because this coolness doesn't just happen. Snacks at QT. Yes, I do budget for that. Now, QT is cheap, don't get me wrong. But when you go 10 times in 1 week, it ain't so cheap. The next budget item will make sense when I just told you because I go to QT all the time. Gym membership. Dinners out. I'm a single parent. I owe it to myself to be able to go out every once in a while. I don't want to go home and cook. I don't want to go home and have to clean up after a long day. So don't I owe it to myself to be able to go out? There's a lot of restaurants and there's cheap restaurants. But again, first world problems. And I don't say that to be judgmental. That's the culture we live in. But these are the things that I'm looking at going, wow, this fills my budget. The point I'm trying to get to is this. When I look at my budget and I look at places I can cut back, I'm not talking about being irresponsible. I'm just talking about being uncomfortable. And there's a difference. In the sport of rowing, there's a common coaching phrase that's always used at a critical moment in the race. There's a coach in every boat, because the coach's job is to keep an eye out as to where they are in the race. That's not the job of the rowers. So when the coach looks around and he realizes there's a window of opportunity, he's going to yell power number. He's going to give a number. So the most common one is called power 10. And when a rower hears that, they know for 10 times you are going to dig in, pull back, dig in, pull back. You are going to give it your everything 10 times. Now they don't know why, except this. The coach said to do it, so they know that this is a game changer. That if they give their 10, it's going to make a difference. So, they also know they have to do it at the same time. Because if just 2 or 3 do it, it's not going to work. Here is what I'm trying to tell you right now. Your leadership is saying to you, power up. Find your power number and give. Because our leadership has been looking around. They've been looking at all of this for months and months. They've been praying about it for years. There's a window of opportunity here for us to take the lead in reaching our world. This has nothing to do with us and other schools. We're not in competition with other schools. God has called us to a mission to reach our world. And your coaches are saying, power, power. Come on, dig in, get uncomfortable. Because we have a moment here where we can make a difference. You have to figure out what your power number is. I've figured out mine. And I've decided I want to be a crew member. I'm not going to tell you what my number is, not because I'm trying to be... You know what? No, I'm going to tell you what my number is. 500. I'm going to give 500 to this campaign. I got to pause for a second. That's a lot. But it's going to make me uncomfortable for a few months. Might be a little bit longer than a few months. But I'm going to give that money because I believe in what's happening here. And I would rather be uncomfortable for a few months so that in 20 years, that is still going on. But we have a window of opportunity right now that we have to take advantage of. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I know God can do anything. He is a God of miracles. But I also know this about God, and I don't know why, but He chooses to work through people. He wants to work through me, and He wants to work through you. And you have friends and families and connections that we don't have. We have this window of opportunity. So I'm asking you, please, I know there's so much going on right now. We're at the end of summer, but this is not the end of the campaign. Please figure out what your power number is and give it. Something special is happening here. All right? So I'm going to leave it at that. I want to say thank you to all the families who have already made their lives uncomfortable. Me telling you what I'm doing is nothing special because let me say this. There's many of our staff and our leadership have already done it. I'm a little late to the game. Many of our families have already given to the tune of over $250,000 to this campaign. So now I'm just asking for you who have not done it yet or have already pledged, figure out what that number is. Thank you all for your support. Thank you for the ways that you care for this school. But now, let's make sure that stuff like this keeps happening, where we keep having moments where we get to celebrate being one family, Creekside Christian Academy.